Welcome to Next Gen Interviews. We have a very special guest all the way from the Bay Area in California. Please welcome Khaled from MorpheusZ Studios. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew. Thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
Oh, it's a wonderful opportunity to host you. So, Khaled, tell me about your studio and about the game that you're launching. It's coming out soon in January, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's coming in a couple weeks, even less now. So the game is it's a puzzle game primarily. So it's kind of there's the main mechanic is time manipulation, the kind of thing where like you have a puzzle and then you do one route, you rewind, and then kind of you have a clone and you collaborate with the clone that mirrors the same actions as before. There's quite a bit of story in the game. It's story driven. There are cutscenes. There's voice acting, and regarding the studio, I don't know, like this was really nothing planned at all in that. It's just like kind of I stumbled into the current situation really. So like one thing that I really like or value rather in making games is having something that has the potential to make players think, at least the ones that are interested in doing that. Like still try to create an experience that's enjoyable for people who are just trying to thread upon the surface and just admire the scenery, admire the story, things of that sort. But someone really like kind of wants to get their gears turning, then like I make sure that I have like something for them in there. And yeah, I think this is kind of the first commercial title I try to put out. I put like a tiny game on itch a few years back, but that's about it really.
How long did it take you to make this one?
Time Master, so development time about 15 months, calendar time about 2 years. So there was a bit of a long break in the middle.
Okay. And did you use a specific engine? Are you using Unreal?
Yes.
Or okay?
Unity.
Okay. And are you going to shift towards maybe Unreal 5 when it's available?
Probably not. I
Okay.
think maybe a bit of an opposition for me to have is that I actually feel that Unity enables my games to look better.
Okay.
And I think that comes from its ecosystem. It's amazing the amount of assets and tools that are available at my disposal. And there were points in the game design, like the concepting and coming up with the art style, things that I would have compromised on if I didn't find the perfect asset to use for that. And none of these are available in other engines. So, and I understand the point that a lot of people would that say that Unreal has like it's a higher ceiling. You can really push it to a higher limit than Unity, but that kind of feels irrelevant to me since I'm like kind of I'm not gonna push either engines to the limit anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like kind of I'm pretty happy with where the game landed, and I think I feel like I owe a lot of that to Unity's ecosystem. Maybe not the engine itself, but the things that are around the engine, and so I'm a bit inclined to stick with that.
No, that's great. Okay, so let's take a look at the video. I have your trailer. Let's bring it up on the screen. Okay, so this is it. Starts with one of the female characters, and let's just play it. You can describe what's going on.
Yeah, it's the female character.
I don't
There's a very
look
small
the way
cast.
you remember me, sis.
I see you have received my message. I am here to help you recover one and only one thing from that which you have lost.
Yeah, like basically what I'm
Who
trying to
are
do in this
you?
trailer is just kind of establish the
Consider
characters,
me
establish
your
the main
guide for this
story, like
journey.
the hero's
Vivi?
journey. What is
Is
it
that
trying to
you?
do?
Thank goodness.
Zeno.
Yeah,
the
they look
voice
really
you were
good.
Talking to.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean, the hope from
guy.
here is that
He's
it's kind
not
of
a
clear.
guy.
He's trying to
You have to stop
save his
listening
sister.
to him.
To whom?
Lucix. With the fragments you brought, he's getting closer to being able to escape. Zeno, be
All these
careful.
animations are actually
He might be able
done
to
in
interfere
engine.
with the trials.
Yeah, I don't use like external modeling software
What's
or anything.
happening?
10,000 years. It ends here.
Nice. So did you have voice actors play all the characters?
Yeah. Again, there's a very small cast, so it didn't really take many voice actors. The villain and the protagonist are the same voice actor.
Okay.
He's very talented. Like it was surprising to me that he's able to hit like these very two different vocal tones, like very good vocal range. But yeah, I think um, like voice acting is something that I consider very important when it comes to presenting any story or of any sort. So I made sure to have that.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, they sounded really good, and it's good that the one character can have diverse, voice techniques to play two different characters. You don't play any characters yourself, I guess.
No. Like
No.
I think I have too much of an accent to try that. I also don't have like kind of like any good hardware for recording audio or something of that sort at that point. So no.
Okay, no, it reminded me, as I told you before, a little bit of a blend between Psychonauts 2, which is an amazing game, and Ori the Whisper, like a little bit of combination of the both, some Ratchet and Clank, but yeah, really great animation. I'm really impressed with the gameplay and can't wait till this comes out. It's January 18th when it's being released, right?
January 18th. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like you're spot on with the sort of the Ratchet and Clank maybe reference. I think actually at Crack in Time, there's the Clank portion that inspires like kind of the main mechanic in this game.
Okay.
Just kind of you play as Clank and you have these clones and that sort of thing. But yeah, like obviously I'm very flattered that you feel it, at least kind of that it's you feel it's on par with the or even close to
Yeah,
Psychonauts 2. I think it's an amazing game. Like
the
Psychonauts 2
animation.
is and like obviously it's an amazing studio. I love Double Fine. So
Yeah, I know that they're a good one. And then for distribution, if you're privy to say this, are you looking at just doing it on PC with Steam and Itch, or are you going to be targeting the Microsoft world and the Sony worlds as well for distribution?
yeah, so that's a good question. So the upcoming launch is only desktop. The porting plan is still in the works, so I would like to port it. It's just there's nothing um, I'd say super concrete at the moment, or at least nothing that that I would feel comfortable like kind of committing to or anything of that sort. But I'm hoping to have something more clear shortly after launch.
How does it usually work with the developer? You launch it on Steam and then kind of Microsoft and Sony see it and they contact you, or is it the other way around? You send them a video and saying, hey guys, can we partner up? How does it work with a developer when you're developing games?
I mean, I would assume that to get to a level where Sony or Microsoft are reaching out, that would probably mean a very like kind of the launch has to be very, very successful to catch their attention, right? So
Okay.
I would assume it would have to be me reaching out, or if there is a publisher that's trying to help with some of these porting, then maybe they have their own contacts and they can help like kind of pitch the game as well to some of these platforms. But honestly, I haven't been through the process yet, so I don't like. I'm kind of just giving my very vague understanding of that.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be a pretty exciting process once you get to that level. You'll keep me posted, of course. You know how you're doing. We're Twitter buddies, so I mean, you'll let me know, Matt, I just signed on with Sony. Like, yeah, and then we can play it if it's on Game Pass. It's good. How long is the game in hours?
Oh, that's a very tough question to answer, and I honestly have no idea. I think it could be anywhere from 10 to 30 hours.
Oh wow. Okay.
Depending on like how like kind of if someone is kind of adamant on completing the game, depending on what they want to complete, if there's kind of they want to go after the secondary objective, they want to go after like kind of the whole thing of the puzzles basically are repeatable. You can try to get better like time and like better star rating. So these these can be quite difficult. So it's really hard to nail something down at this stage. I'm kind of waiting to see, but I think this is the range that I'm estimating.
Okay, so you have side missions as well that the player can go through too.
One bonus objective. I don't want to spoil too much.
No,
but,
of course,
there's
yeah.
something. So there's something in the story where, yeah, like kind of after you accomplish the objective you set out to, it's like, oh, there's that other thing that you can go after. And I don't know, like how players would react at this point. Would they feel, well, I accomplished the thing, and like kind of they put down the controller satisfied, or are most of them gonna be like, no, I gotta complete like this other thing that came up as well. I have no idea how people would react. I actually initially considered having it be like a yes no dialogue in terms of like, do you want to just like kind of do this additional thing or no, but it kind of felt a bit awkward. So it's just one continuous the story, I guess.
Okay. What type of games do you play yourself personally?
Um, all over the place, honestly. Like over the last 10 years, maybe the most games I've spent time on are League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, Northgard. These are also obviously all multiplayer games.
Yeah.
I play a bunch of RPGs, like solo or like city builders and things of that sort, and a bunch of other like puzzle games. Although these are like puzzle games tend to be more kind of a snack things, like kind of they're not something you're gonna play for weeks and weeks.
Right.
So
A-
yeah.
Any games that you're really looking forward to from 2022, 23 coming out?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I don't have something kind of that's specifically mine. I think there's maybe I don't know when the new Final Fantasy is coming out, but this is something I always look forward to.
Soon.
But
Like the Game Awards, which you told me you watched a couple of them. This year they had Sting and Imagine Dragons, if you like the bands, the artists, but they showed Elden Ring is coming, which is supposed to be super difficult. Hellblade 2. They had Star Wars Eclipse, which is unfortunately going to be, I think, 3 to 4 years. They have some delay with some staff issues right now. A new Star Wars game. Spider-Man 2 we know is coming. Gotham Knights, of course, is going to be coming. And then God of War Ragnarok. And then in February, the new one is Horizon, which we're going to be playing on our channel. Those are all the new games that I noticed, which were on the Game Awards. But if you like puzzles, you're going to probably like the new Tomb Raider whenever that releases, because Lara Croft goes through a lot of puzzles. If you like more puzzle-driven games, that Tomb Raider is a good franchise for puzzles and driving players nuts because they have to figure out the puzzle, of her. So that's all the new ones that I saw from the Game Awards, and that's what I saw. One question that I wanted to ask you, being from your background, is how a lot of parents don't allow their kids to play video games. They see it as sometimes the mom will be like, oh, you're playing too long, you're playing more than an hour. But do you think, I don't know, the
I'm in
American
my 30s, so yeah, but
in the American system, in the school system, do you
yeah.
think that they should start introducing consoles to the classroom and get them to play games that you're making for educational purposes, so they can spark an imagination and write a story about what your game is about, write books and, stories and create their own characters? What do you think about that idea?
So like kind of mixing education and video games, basically, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I have mixed opinions on that. I think like I'd rather entertainment be for entertainment, not for like kind of uh, um, having something where there's kind of some other objective where it's sort of the gaming is just a medium where this objective is being displayed and applies to education and other things. But having that said, I don't know their effectiveness, honestly. Like I think if someone shows me some data is like, hey, here are kids who learned using this method with gaming, and here are kids who learned using traditional methods and it's working better, I'll flip my opinion immediately. But I don't know.
It's a different type of an approach, but I mean, I had another guest and we talked about this too, and he's more from an education background, and video games can teach language. Like if you have Spanish, for example, as a subtitle in this one, it could teach people who don't know Spanish simple Spanish sentence structure, watching your game, or French, or Mandarin, any type of language can be incorporated. But I think in the future, in a school system, it could be a way for kids to escape the reality of school, go into a different reality of a game, play with their friends, have the teacher direct it. Maybe the US government's going to introduce this. I don't know what we do in Canada. Like it's the same thing, which leads up to my next question. Khaled, where do you think the game industry is going?
Oh, that like the gaming industry as a whole.
As a whole.
Oh, how much time do we have? I think so. Obviously, like mobile gaming is still growing faster than all other segments, and I don't know like how the outlook on that would be. Like obviously, I feel that the ecosystem is a bit unhealthy in there with all the predatory gambling apps disguised as games. I guess maybe the best way to put it. And I don't know. But I'm genuinely hoping this improves, given that this is kind of the fastest growing segment. There's obviously, I think the multiplayer scene, at least on desktop, seems to be doing okay as far as I can tell. At least the games that I've been involved in, like, I quite enjoyed. Single player games, it seems like it's kind of I feel there's an undersupply of high quality games at the moment,
Okay.
and like kind of some of the developers or publishers are getting away with things that I feel they shouldn't be getting away with. But I don't know. I worry that maybe things might start going more microtransaction-y on the desktop side. Game prices have been like fixed at 60 for a very long time for reasons that I don't fully understand. I don't know how this will be sustainable, but lots of publishers are starting to look into microtransactions and DLCs and things of that sort. So I don't know. Sorry if my kind of outlook is a bit pessimistic. But...
No, of course. I mean, it's always the between the PC and the console world. There's always a tension and war between them, because I was explaining to my friend as well that, okay, so you can buy a PS5 or an Xbox for under $700. And then you're looking at $4,000 for a gaming PC to do what you want it to do. So what's going to sell more? Like, that's exactly.
Oh, so you're predicting things will skew more towards console moving forward?
I think so. I mean, just for the price points. And you're right about the games.
I mean,
we're seeing games, at Black Friday coming from a $60 price point, getting $20 knocked off. So there is margin in these games,
That's an interesting perspective. So the current data seems to suggest that it's actually the opposite. The people who value like very high fidelity games and are willing to spend more in their gaming are the gamers who go on consoles, not the people who go on PC. I don't know like how expensive it is to create a decent gaming rig on PC. I think it might be less than $4,000. I mean, obviously, yes, you can spend that much if you want to get like the super like highest end
right.
thing or something of that sort. But I think like a lot of people would game on lower end PCs as well. Like they don't have the same expectation of games to have the like as high of a fidelity and be as polished as consoles. And I think like kind of if you look at, for example, in the PlayStation YouTube channel or Xbox YouTube channel, whenever there's a 2D game, players are not very happy. Like that's not what they bought the console for. They want the latest and greatest.
Right. They want 4K.
I don't know.
4K HDR. And where I think it's going in the future is everything is becoming mobile. Like, for example, like the Nintendo Switch, Game Pass, which we just partnered up with Sega, Microsoft and Sega. Where I think it's going is Sony's going to bring up a handheld so people can use it in the subway, the transit, the air tram, the sky train. They could just load up your game. If it's on Game Pass, play it while they're in transit. Microsoft is looking at one now. So I think they're going to form, Microsoft and Sony are going to join Nintendo in the handhelds. And then it's going to be a global world with Game Pass, Sony Plus, that you can just download your game as you're playing it in the future, towards your travel. Yeah.
I think Game Pass is something I definitely hear good things about. Although, again, like kind of the subscription model is one that I'm trying to gather more information on. Like I think the Google Stadia approach maybe is suboptimal, but I know like maybe the Xbox have better arrangements for that. But yeah, like obviously handhelds will be. I think it would make sense for it to be big. And the Steam Deck is also going to start shipping next month.
That's a handheld as well.
Sorry.
That's a handheld as well.
Yeah. So the Steam Deck. I mean, the premise basically is that you can play AAA games at like 30-60 FPS on this like kind of a portable device. Cool. And it kind of uses SteamOS OS, so it has like a lot of games would just work with the compatibility layer Proton, but a lot of developers are also looking to create builds that like kind of Linux builds specifically that would run on SteamOS. I'd love to do that for my game as well. I think it can be suitable for like kind of people playing it as on the go.
You definitely should. You definitely should, because you'll get more people using it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's still an unknown thing really, because it hasn't, like, I think it was delayed. I think it was supposed to come out late last year. It's coming out next month. So we'll see how that goes. But this is but yeah, this is exciting to see that also, like, Steam is getting into the handheld business.
Yeah, it's exciting times. Well, thank you so much for the interview today, Khaled. We
No,
wish
of
you
course,
the
okay.
best
Thank you,
of
Matt.
success. January 18th, when it comes out, I'll post a link in our YouTube link of the game, the trailer that we played, and then we're excited to see it. You know how it's doing January 18th. You'll let me know.
Yeah, yeah, great. No, it was a pleasure talking to you, Matt, and thank you for inviting me over.
You're welcome, and stay safe during this crazy COVID world in California. And
Yeah.
awesome.
Bye.
Okay, bye.